But yeah, it was just like I was trying something new. It was cool getting to know him, but I felt like we were still on getting to know you phase, and he like, oh no, we about to be on to another phase, and I'm like, nah. If I could just be dating black men, if I wanted to give it up after the third date, like, come on now, no, that's not what we're doing. But that was interesting. But it did just open my mind, like, oh, other races are into me. And I mean, I don't know. I feel bad that I had to be this old to know that I was, like, desired by other races. Like, growing up, it was literally like, oh, if you were to date a black girl.
So that was
not that we would, but which one would you date?
The only reference. I mean, like, yeah, and that's what I realized and I learned about certain people. It's like, yo, they go back to their experiences and that's all they have.
But that's all I have is my experiences. True, and of all the hundreds of black men that's approached me against the 2 men of other races that's approached me.
Okay, like, hold on. You've watched TV, you watch movies. You probably heard stories from your girlfriends about them being approached by like a Spanish dude, a white dude. No. Never.
No.
Have you seen it on TV? Have you seen a black on a movie? Or
not often. That's not often. Recently, black women be dating. Why are you acting like that's normal? I'm not saying that it's unnatural, but I'm saying that is not displayed in the media as often as black men dating other races.
Okay.
They just started doing that with the Cheerios commercials and stuff, like having black women with white men or Hispanic men.
I think that is probably rare for the culture. I mean, because it's just mirroring the culture. Like, it's rare.
They're trying to reach out to those epidemics.
But I've seen it though. But it's like that's going against the grain of the culture. Like, right? I think interracial dating, interracial marriage is kind of going against the grain of, you know, how we are. Your tradition. Like people trying to stay with, hey, if you're Indian, you start trying to marry Indian black. Like traditionally. African and African, you're Haitian, your mom's gonna want you to marry Haitian, like
right.
So
I feel like that is traditionally, but it's just like more if y'all both walked in with an Asian girl and a white girl on your arm, people would be like, oh. I walk in with an Asian dude, people gonna be like, okay, like it's just you don't see that as often.
I agree with that.
You do not. That does not happen as often.
And I feel like. On both sides, there's reasons why on both sides, right?
Maybe they think that black women aren't as approachable. They scared to talk to us.
Hey, sometimes it is.
That's part of it. On their side,
I've seen it.
We not approachable. Maybe we don't.
That passion, that passion for what y'all have gets portrayed as aggressiveness or anything like that.
Yeah, they're just scared.
They're just scared because they don't. No, they haven't experienced,
but they
want to be open to it.
But
that's where it gets the flexible.
They can still have that little love or that little lust for you.
And they want to take that to the next level.
Yeah, and exactly. I don't want them to be lusting over
or whatever.
Me. Like, I have a black girl. Like, no. And that's also too. I don't want to be. I don't want to feel like
the novelty. But
it's like I'm a trophy. Like I'm not a
fetish or novelty.
I don't want.
I'm not no fantasy to you. Like we got that. It was a lot with white girls. Half the time when I grew up in high school, literally it was like, oh, I'm getting me like, oh, I want me a chocolate man. I've got cotton chocolate man so many damn times when I walk into somewhere by some white girls. Like, oh, what's that little chocolate man?
So she said that black dudes be fetishized. They be fetishized too.
Actually,
but you could be fetishized by a black dude too.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you could, but I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that. But I feel like, or half the times that I do get hit on by white dudes, they're like drunk and they're just like
speaking their
because now they want.
Now they're free.
They're like
it might be disrespectful, but which is wrong. But they're in
their culture, same thing.
You would never take me back to your mama, though, would you?
In their culture, just as much fear. On their side of the tracks is just as much fear of being with you, even though that's what they really want. As much as, dude coming out that they gay, whatever. That's our time, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and wrap that up though. Like everybody's answer on why it seems that black men, the facts are, why do black men date outside of their race more than black women? So everybody's answer. Who wants to go first?
We go left to right on camera.
All right, so my answer is I think that's, I can't speak for all black men that date outside of their race. I just feel like either they trying to try something new, you know, they just like, hey, let me see what happens, and then they might like it, or they may feel like, you know, after having, you know, an Asian woman, white woman, like Spanish woman, black woman, they might feel like, oh, you know what, dating outside their race, women are more agreeable, maybe more flexible. I mean, and they may just feel like for relationship purposes, for that specific individual, that specific black guy, he just may feel like this is better for me. You know what I'm saying? But now there's some guys I feel like, two other reasons, it's like they score.
You're taking all the answers. You're taking all the answers.
Oh, you're right.
Like, damn, you guys.
My bad, but I have my answers. Just trying something new and then they like it, or just flexibility versus I feel like my queens are so strong, but like something made out of steel or whatever, it's not easy to bend. Now, some guys can deal with that challenge. Some guys can deal with that challenge, and some guys cannot. So that's my answer.
I don't know. I feel like, as for women, well, for me too, I know I feel like I have a like me bias. I'm not ashamed to say that I do. So it's like, yeah, I think a lot of black women are just attracted to black men, and also men that aren't black don't really try to holler at us. So why we gonna go out our way to try to holler at people who we don't think really like us?
I guess it depends on where you live. I mean, if you're in New York, it's gonna be Spanish dudes probably hollering at you. You look like you could be part Spanish, Dominican. It's probably might be some white dudes that try to holler at you, like Tommy from.
Well, maybe I just need to get out the South. Yeah. I have lived in the South my entire life, but being a Southern person, like a Southern black woman, like it's just.
And you lived in Atlanta for a few years, right?
Yeah, I lived in South Carolina and North Carolina.
You lived in some small cities or smaller cities.
I mean, I lived in Charlotte for a long time.
That's a very
you got approached by some people.
I worked in the mall, like.
You get approached by some people outside of your race in North Carolina?
Twice, I remember getting approached by a white man.
I remember.
But black men regularly.
All right, and that was your answer.
What's your answer? Why do black men date?
Because they have the option to.
Because they have the option to. They have more options. Okay.
All right. And in my view on why black men date outside their race, it's a location thing, where you're at. Mm-hmm. You have those options. And then it's a nurture thing. How were you nurtured growing up? How were you nurtured in that element? Were you shunned out? Were you not accepted on there? Like I said, black nerds, we're a new breed. Men, women, black, we just a new breed. Some places we weren't accepted, and that just happens through there. And then half the time, I don't see color. I love queens. Don't get me wrong. Since I've been in Atlanta, I love me some queens. But at the same time, it's all about how you feel and what you find in that person.
You felt like
love is blind.
So you say that you feel like black women hasn't always liked you, but when I say that I feel like men that aren't black haven't always liked me, it's like, oh, well, maybe you aren't being open to them.
I was open to black women from the start. Just didn't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah, he said that he was open and they dissed him.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't say you was open to white men and they dissed you. You just said they dissed you.
I was at one point.
Oh, yeah, you did. You was very young.
Like, when I was, like, real young, because there was no, like, in 5th grade or in elementary and middle school, there was, like, 3 black. There wasn't that many black dudes. So my first crushes were white dudes. But it was already conditioned in their head that wasn't an option.
You did say that. You're right.
Yeah.
So it comes down to
but that was very young. After that, like after I was a teenager, no, I wasn't open to dating white men because I didn't think that was an option.
And if you changed when
but
I was
now I'm 2020.
2020 there's options.
Free your mind and the rest will follow.
Strength and flexibility. Open your mind. It's all about growth and development.
So, hey, we hit all of our little points or whatever. And
let us know in the comments how you feel about this. Black women, I want to know how you feel. Like, if you are a black woman in an interracial relationship, I want to know about it. But yeah, I know everybody has an opinion on this, and I want to hear about it in the comments, please.